Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne out on my deck. So today we are going to be making some hidden paper clips. And here's some that I've been working on. So these are more like tab size ones, these. So meaning you can use it either at, here's the paper. You can either put it on the side of your paper like this, or you could put it at the top of your page like this. So you can make different directions. It's up to you. These are sort of obviously the longer ones. I did these to go over the page. You can also go over like a journal card, put a hidden paper clip over the journal card. Most of these are double-sided. Some of them I haven't gotten to do the double-sided thing on them yet, and these are just made with different book pages. And I had these little flower things laying around. These are from book pages, an art book page. This is book page, and then a sticker, different pieces of book page. I don't think I did any of these double-sided except for this one. Yeah. So we are going to make these, but we are going to be using some of the 12 by 12 papers that I got when I got my Stampin' Up! Haul. So we're going to cut it slightly down. So let me clear these away. I have a whole bunch up here that I didn't even decorate yet, and this is how many you get when you create with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, depending on how many paper clips you use, because the hidden paper clips you can make any size you want. This was using an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of this size. I might do some of these a little bit bigger going forward. I'm not sure. Haven't decided. So let's put these up here. I have a whole bunch of 12 by 12 paper. So if you saw I like this. I'm gonna keep that for something else. If you saw my Stampin' Up! Haul, you would know that I got a ton of paper. And I'm trying to decide which ones I want to use up. Some of these are so pretty. I want to keep them for other projects. Let's see what's on the back side of that one. Okay, although that's a little directional. This one's less directional. Let's just go with the first one that I picked out. That one's less directional. Okay, so I know I want to keep one side. Let's see. Once again, I can't even tell how the direction of this paper is. Okay, I want to cut this down. Oh, I don't have my measurement thing on this. Hold on, I keep my measurement thing stored underneath because I don't use it half the time. Okay, so I want to measure this out to, let's do 10 inches. And then this other piece I can use for decorating, whatever. Okay. I'm just going to take that off because it makes more sense to just put it over here. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to keep the 12 going up. The short side goes across, the long side goes up, okay? So we're going to fold this in. Now let me think, which side do I want? Actually, I like them both, so it doesn't really matter. No, that's going to be on the inside. Let's do this one. Okay, so we're going to fold it in so we leave approximately 1.5 inches extra right here. Do our best to keep this straight, lining up the sides. Give that a nice fold right there. And I have my large paper clips. I'm using the ones that are jumbo. And you want to make sure when you're doing the paper clips, all the long sides are on the same side. So I don't want to do this. See the long side, the short side? No. I want to do this. Okay. Now, however far apart you space them depends on how big your paper clips are. So if I left these spaced like this, it's going to be approximately these sizes, just so you know. But if I want them a little bit bigger, let's move this apart a little bit more and glue all over me. I mean, you don't have to use the jumbo paper clips, but I have them, so let's use them. And I just got them in my my big Goodwill everything haul. Once I get these on here, then I play around with the spacing. All right, so let's do some spacing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one. Okay. Now you can see where I have those, how I have them spaced. The next thing I want to do is I want to take this paper, make sure these are all nice and flush, and I want to fold this up even. I'm keeping it straight here on the sides too. Fold it up to the base of the paper clips, or just thereabouts. Okay? So fold that up, flip it around. We have a little bit left over here. Fold that over. Now, if you want to do your score tool and your all that, go ahead. Now, this is keeping them fully covered within the paper. I'm going to come in and add some glue now. You can wait until the end. That is not a big deal. I am only going to glue this part down right here, this little flip over piece. So I'm just doing a little stripe of glue. Getting all this squished. Hold it for a minute or two. I mean, this glue dries relatively quickly. Make sure these stay even. Okay. Now I'm going to take this piece. So we've got this all done. So that's the hidden paper clip. That's where all our papers are going to be going in. Now I'm going to fold this, keeping it relatively even with this fold right here. Do you have to? No, because this is a paper clip. It's going to be on one side. It's going to be on one side of the paper. The other side is going to be on the other side of the paper. So one, you're not going to see what the other side is doing. But in this case, I am going to keep it relatively equal, and I'm trying to keep these edges even. Just a little bit of a difference, but that is not a big deal. Okay, now we're going to take what's left over and fold that over again. We're going to do another one, so don't worry. So this down here becomes hidden paper clip part. So your paper clip is fully enclosed. So let's do some glue. So I open this up. I need to fill this glue up. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of glue. Keep in mind, I'm gonna be cutting these apart. So I am gonna do a generous amount of glue. And I am putting glue between the actual paper clips. I'm putting some glue here at the top, putting some glue at that crease at the bottom. If you want to do a glue stick, that's fine too. Let's fold this down, and I'm pushing the paper clips between the paper clips. I'm pushing all of that. And I'm keeping this fairly squished because I want all this, my hands are just covered. I want all of this to make nice contact. Especially all these what are going to be the edges between each one. And then let's come in and we'll glue this top piece. Now, I'm adding a decent amount of glue because these are going to get cut apart. And once again, squishing all that down. Now, this is offset from this. Don't worry about it. We're covering it. Or you don't even have to cover it if you don't want. I mean, when you use decorated paper, I mean, it's so pretty. Even if you didn't want to do anything to it, you don't have to. Okay. Now this is thick. This is substantial. Let me grab my scissors. If you want to come through and draw a line and measure between each of the paper clips, you go for it. Am I? No. So I can feel inside where my paper clips are located. So I've got a paper clip here and I've got a paper clip here. So I know I need to cut relatively evenly spaced, straight as I can. This is thick. I don't know if a paper cutter will cut it. It might. Go for it. I tried cutting these. Now this was made with cardstock. This is made with Stampin' Up! Designer paper. And I tried cutting it with this, and that was a challenge. It's thick. So give it a try, whatever you want. I liked the rounded edges, but I didn't want to ruin my tool. So paper clip, paper clip. Paper clip, paper clip right here. So these, I made these a lot bigger, which is what I wanted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They kind of look like little matchbooks. That's kind of the size that they are. So the smallest one is 2 inches. The largest one is almost 2 1/4. Just so you know, that's sort of my spacing. And then the paper clips are mostly in the middle of all of these. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to be. Now, because I was decent with that glue, it glued. Now, it didn't glue right here, and that's okay. I can come in, whoops. I can come in and add a little bit of glue only to this front spot. You see this right here? Let me grab my other piece of paper. This is my hidden paper clip right here. This part is all nice and glued. The front little flat part isn't. I didn't glue that one. So if I wanted to come in and just add a dot of glue there, probably the same thing on the other side. I just want to make sure I'm not gluing my paper clip closed. Just add a little bit of glue there. Do you have to do this? No. Is it just me being me? Yep. Now you could have glued this to begin with. And I always double check, make sure I'm not gluing this shut. There. Okay, we'll just do those two for now. Like I said, this, I can either flip it over because the colors match. I can make like a decorated piece, but then I'm taking away from this. So I have a whole bunch, oops, ooh, there goes that tool. I have a whole bunch of my little die cuts, some little flower things, some little tickets. Well, let's do these two. And if you wanted to come in and edge all of this, now right here is where we glued that other flap down. It actually almost perfectly matches. So you can't even really tell. I'm not worried about it. If you wanted to come in and cut the edges like little tickets or little tags, I mean, which I am gonna do that. Let's do that to this one. Because I wanted some tag hidden paper clips. And if I need to come in and add glue, I can certainly do that. Let me see. I don't know if I can. You know what? I'm not going to round that corner. I'm just going to leave it like that. I kind of like it like that. That's kind of cute. Oh, goodness. Dropping everything. Hold on, I don't know if there's a delivery. Hold on, let me look real quick. Oh, I got my neighbors. They are getting the delivery, which is fine. Couldn't think that I had anything being delivered. There's the tag one. And right here is the hidden paper clip. Super cute. So I'll just do two of those. So we have tabs, tickets. I mean, not tickets. We have tab-shaped one. We have all different shaped ones here. It's kind of fun to just, I don't know, play around. And then when you edge it, just, you know, just gives it a little bit of extra something. And then we'll get decorating these. Actually, maybe we'll make one more and then I'll decorate all of those at the same time. Maybe I'll do that so you can see one more time how to do this. Let's do that. So tags, tabs, whatever. whatever we want to call them. All right, let's move this stuff out of the way. We don't need this. Put these, or put these, we'll put these right here. I'm gonna grab one more piece of paper. You know, I do kind of like this one, even though it's directional. That side's not directional. All right, let me put the cover on my glue. We're gonna cut this down again. So let me add my little measurement foot to my paper cutter. I mean, even if you wanted to keep more of the paper, even if you cut it at 9.5, that's still sufficient. I think I'm going to do that because I think I'm going to keep some of this paper to decorate these with. So I did this one at 12 by 9.5. Let's move that over. Put these in my garbage bowl. My mother gave me, I love pottery, so my mother's always giving me different pottery things. And I have this beautiful pottery bowl. I never use it for like food or whatever because it's just kind of like a funky size. But it is perfect out here on my deck. So I am leaving about 1 inch this time. So anyways, I'm utilizing my beautiful bowl. My mother, who watches my videos, is probably gonna have a heart attack. But we haven't gotten rain all week, and we're not gonna be getting rain for the full week. So it's perfectly fine for me to leave it out here. I have a whole bunch of craft supplies on my deck, just sitting on my table. Whoops, sitting on my table here. So what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna do one at the top. And I'm gonna do, oh, you know what? I wanted it the other way. I folded it the wrong way. I wanted it this way. I'm so enamored with this paper. This is the one I'm gonna have on the outside. So anyways, let's put one here. Let's do one here. So I can see measurement wise, what do I want to do? How many do I want to add? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 6 again. So let's get these a little bit better. So my son started work today. I make my videos ahead, so by the time this is posted, he's already gonna work a couple of days. So he started work today. He texted me from work. He says, I'm on my lunch break. I said, okay, how's it going? He says, it's going good. I said, all right, that is good. I'm happy for that. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna fold this up, making sure my little paper clips stay there. So far, so good. It isn't the job he wanted, and I feel really bad. But this is how life goes. So this is a life lesson for him. Not that the poor kid needs a life lesson. Trust me, he doesn't. I am going to put glue right here. That's that spot that could have used some glue. And I'm just going to add Remember how I went back and added some glue? It's this, after they were done. But anyways, so far so good for my son's first day. So my son is funny. My son seriously could be a stand-up comedian. Everybody, even the counselor at school, the teachers at school kept telling him, you should be a stand-up comedian. And truly, I think someday he will take the stage. He is hysterical. He's naturally funny. He's one of those like dry wit humor kind of people. So we have this. Let's fold that over. That's the turkey squawking. Fold this over. Oh, I ripped it. But that's okay. You're not going to see it. So anyways, he's been doing this online preparation for this job. It's like 4 to 6 hours worth of like videos and all this stuff you had to fill in, and I said to him, are you working at Whole Foods or are you working for the CIA? Because it was a bit much. And he was not happy. I mean, he did it because that's the type of person he is. I'm just going to glue this little strip down. So he did it, but he said to me, never once in all those hours of training was there ever training for my job. He said there was training for all these other jobs that I'm not hired for. I mean, he's certified in food safety and all that type of stuff now, which, I mean, I understand. You're working at Whole Foods. You never know where they might need you. And I tried explaining that to him. But his point was, never once was there training on his job. And he's like, what the heck? He says to me, he says, there's a lot of stuff in here saying, you know, you have to be friendly to customers, you have to be sociable, you have to go up and greet customers. He says, I understand that. That's all well and good. He says, and then, so we're going to fold this side up over the paper clip, and we're going to try and keep it even with this. So he says, never once was there training on my job, but there was training and talking about, there was a flood, I think he said in the 1980s. He's like, there was a flood in the 1980s at our main offices and we almost went out of business. He says, there was more talk on that and not talk on my actual job. And he says to me, what am I supposed to do? Go up to customers and go, hey, did you hear about the bad flooding? We almost went out of business. I'm like, yeah, I don't think you should be doing that to the customers. He's like, what the heck? So now I'm going to glue all this down. He said, don't you think they'd be teaching me about my job? I said, I know, in theory, I agree with you. So the poor kid. He's using it for stand-up routine, I guess. I don't know. Folding this back over, giving this a nice squish. And then I'm going to add glue to this, fold it down, then we're going to cut it up. So if you only have one-sided paper, this will be perfectly fine. Just put the side you don't want folded to begin with. So if you want to go discuss the flood in the 1980s, apparently you can go talk to my son at Whole Foods. He's going to be a personal shopper if anybody trains him. Ay, ay, ay. They're also going to teach him how to do the register, how to get the carts, you know, that type of stuff. And I said, you know, when you work in those bigger places like that, they put you where they need you. I said, just because you're there for job A doesn't mean you're not going to be doing job B. And, you know, I've tried explaining that, and I think he gets it. I hope he gets it. So there's this one. And here's there's the hidden paper clip right there. So it's fully covered in paper. It's so clever. I did not come up with this, but whoever came up with this is a smart cookie. Wonder if they know about the floods in the 1980s. Paperclip, paperclip. And it's easy enough to feel them. Paperclip, paperclip. There they are. So if you have some 12 by 12 papers laying around, or 8.5 by 11 papers hanging around, I love like little things on the edges of my pages in my journals. So here's all these. Love them. Okay. So this is the bottom right here. This is the paperclip part. And see, these are staying together a lot better. So I need to add a lot more glue my next go around. Okay, so let's start decorating these. And I am going to get my ink first. We'll quickly get some ink on these. That won't take very long. I contemplated selling like 4 or 6 hidden paper clips, just like in a little goodie bag. I don't know if people would get it. I don't know, unless you know what it is, because you can use these in your journals, you can use them in your appointment books, use them on so many different things. I'm going to give some to my girlfriends to use like in their appointment books. I give a lot of goodies to my friend. That's the school teacher. I know I talk about her a lot. She just got back from Europe. She got me a whole bunch of amazing stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm contemplating doing a video on my haul from Europe, just to show like some of the really cool things that she got me. She's into stickers like I am, and she got me the most funky stickers I've ever seen. I mean, they're even weird in my descriptions of weird. But that's why she got them. She's like, I've never seen anything like this before. I said, yep. I'll probably use them in my fairy journal. So, I don't know. I might do a video showing my goodies from her European trip. She got me a beautiful, beautiful hand-sculpted fairy to hang from the ceiling. I like fairies. Other people like angels and gnomes and that sort of stuff. I like fairies. That's more my thing. Okay, so these are all inked up. There are giant grasshoppers out here. Ooh, and the turkeys are sitting right over there in the grass. They have started pecking my car now. These turkeys, I'm telling you, crazy. All right, so this is the side that I definitely want to cover. And then we have these guys. I'm not going to get super elaborate with decorating them because I like the decoration on them. But these, let's see, I have a circle punch right here. Let's see if this is too big. Let me get it out of the package. It's in my outside stash of stuff. It's a 2.5 inch. Let me see. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh, we're gonna do that. So it's 2.5 inch scallop punch. Not getting too fancy. I'm not gonna have enough to do all of them. Nope, I don't. Is that too big? Yeah. All right. We will do that. And I have some little, actually, you know what? Let's do some ink. Just keeping these kind of dainty and pretty. Okay, let me get these glued down, and then we can decorate on top of that, need be. I had some glue I was going to refill this with, and it had gone bad. So I have another bottle to refill this with. I will hunt that down. Oh, that's upside down. So I went to Costco's yesterday. My son needed to go to a store that was up. Oh, you can't even see these. My son needed to go to a store that was up by where our Costco's is. He's like, hey, you want to go to Costco's? I'm like, yeah. So he dropped me off at Costco's, which I think I was in there like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let me tell you, that's tiring for me. Walking is not always my strong suit. And then to top it all off, I couldn't eat the samples because they weren't gluten-free or dairy-free, which wasn't making me happy. I get a little... sometimes I get jealous. Let's face it. If everybody else is having a free sample, I certainly wish there was something I could have a free sample of. I mean, I don't get mean or anything, but how do you not want to have a sample too? But I have to say, 2 of my allergy-friendly foods, one is a vegan chocolate. It's kind of like an Almond Joy. A bag of them is normally like $12. You know, they're little bite-sized things. And so for a bag of those is $12 at Costco's, which is dirt cheap at Costco's because it's a big bag and the same size. I mean, half the size bag at Whole Foods is $12. So it's a really good deal. Those were on sale for like $6. So yay. I was very happy about that. I ended up getting 4 bags. One for my mom and 3 for us. Now, if my mom needs more, I'll certainly give her more. I took one bag and just plopped it right in my freezer. And, I always need mushroom stuff. The other thing that was on sale, there's a company that makes cassava root crackers. Well, they also make these like graham cracker things. A big bag of those was on sale yesterday too. So got one of those for my mom and one of those for us. Super excited. You know, I don't normally buy them because I'm not gonna pay $12+ for a bag of these. It kills me. It just kills me. And then the other thing I have here are some tickets. So anyways, I got those, got my chicken. I was a happy camper with my chicken. Tonight I'm making chicken salad. Told my son, if you want it on a salad, pick up a salad at Whole Foods. If you just want it on bread, don't worry about it. So he's like, all right. This might work out with him working in a grocery store. So we found out he does not get a discount on everything like he thought, which I told him, are you sure? He's like, oh yeah, I get a discount on everything. I don't think you do. So he gets a discount on the prepared foods. And today he didn't bring a lunch. I said, why don't you get sushi today? He did. He loves sushi. And he's like, I got to use my discount. I said, all right, that's really cool. I think it's 20% off. So I was happy for him. You know what? Let's do this one too. He knows his prices. He knows how to shop. He knows how to read labels for food allergies and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, this job is really, it's really perfect for him. He's well equipped. You know, we've had to live our lives that way. So I think this is going to be a potentially really good thing for him. I think he could work his way up at any job he does. I mean, I'm not just saying that because he's my kid. I mean, he's intelligent. He graduated with high honors. So obviously he's a smart cookie. But I have to think some of it is because he was too sick to attend school for 8 years because of his health. So I held the school to their responsibilities. I used to work as a sign language interpreter, and it's not violating any code of ethics or anything to say I was one of the many interpreters on the making of ADA. So I am privy to some of the stuff that's in ADA. Anybody is, but I mean, I was there when they were making it. And I mean, it was public because I was like on TV interpreting it with the governor and the commissioner of the state and, you know, all that type of stuff. So I know some. you know what, this might be better on another one. So I know some of my laws when it comes to disability. I am not a lawyer, but I held them to what their responsibilities were, and I'm glad I did. But without the influence of the other children, I think frankly he's thrived more. Because there were times he would come home and he'd be like, what is up with these kids? I'm like, yeah, I know. He just didn't get it. He's like, all they do is complain about the work and complain, oh, why do I have to do this? He says, I'm already done. So I said to him, this is our first year. We're not preparing for you to go to school. We're not buying you school supplies. We're not doing all that. I said, are you going to miss school? And he says, not in the least. I said, okay. I can understand that. So I think he's ready for the working world. Now, I want to do the backs of these as well. And I'm running out of glue. You know what? I know I didn't edge this other one, but I'm gonna put it down there anyways. So, anyways, I think all of this is going to be a good thing for him. You know, I want a little bit of book page. I have my garbage bowl here. Whoops. So, first day, big job. Fingers crossed for the kid. And I'm sitting here doing videos. Which is good. I had a doctor's appointment. And you truly have to laugh at some of this stuff. So I was telling the doctor, yeah, I had my rash for 3 months. I still have it a little bit, but for the most part, it's gone. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, 3 months. I said, I saw 5 doctors. Nobody knew what my rash was. And he's asking me questions. He's like, has anybody told you that you had this or this or that? I'm like, no, I've never heard any of that. Nope, nope, and nope. Well, he says, I'm thinking you may have another rare disease. Of course I do. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? So, I'm going to start all the testing. One of them I brought up to him that I suspect I have, that goes along with like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and all that stuff. He's like, well, did they do this test? Nope. Did they do this test? No. He's like, then how did they say you don't have it? I said, that's what I told them. I said, they didn't like it when I said it. Truly. If you have chronic illness, you get it. The only reason I'm going to go through all the rigmarole is because of my son. He's medically extremely similar to me. The poor kid. So, because of that, I'm going to go through and do a bunch of this testing. have to say I like this doctor. I liked him pretty much from day one. And I do not say that about a lot of doctors. Most doctors kind of annoy me. I'm sick of playing games. If they don't want to listen, I'm not here to argue. Let's just do little pieces of this. I'll argue if it's my son. But looks like my winter is going to be filled with stupid tests. Joy, joy. Whatever. There's a lot of diseases that go hand in hand when you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I definitely have one, but I'm thinking I have two. And he is in agreement with me. So we shall see. I need something else. I'll just put a butterfly there. So I finally have a doctor that actually listens. And the sad thing is he's a neurologist. Most neurologists I don't like. And I've been very clear about that. This guy, I like this guy. He listens. You know, we're of the same age as well. So I think he kind of gets it that I'm trying. My son goes to see him too, so he sees the level of involvement with the two of us. And he sees medically how similar we are. So Ehlers-Danlos syndrome for us, my son and I, means that we are very hypermobile. My son and I were having lunch yesterday, and I was telling him that I saw, like a thing on Instagram, and it was for Ehlers-Danlos people. So here, let me do it. So it said, most people lay their hand flat. This finger is kind of there, the thumb. Most people shouldn't be able to do a 90 degree with their thumb. Ehlers-Danlos people can if you have the hypermobility type. My son's like, 90 degrees? He's like, I can go beyond 90. I'm like, I know, so can I. So we were laughing about that. So, yeah. That's the level of stuff that I'm talking about. These are not getting super fancy, but I'm thinking when I go to put them in my book, I may add like jewels and stuff to them. Now, I have some of these dolls. They're the washi sticker ones, so they're see-through. I'm not really whacked about them, but I gotta use them. I know I need to cut it down more than that. So anyways, my son and I were laughing. So see what you can do with your hands. You know, when you have these different diseases and diagnoses and stuff, you go to other doctors and they're like, well, how do you know you have it? Like, seriously. I'm going to take my stick and whack somebody that says that to me the next time. So I always say to my son, do your arm thing. My son can put his arms up and he can totally like pop these, and it's very evident he's Gumby when he does that. And their eyes always pop out of their head, always. He's like, or the doctors will be like, oh, yep, never mind. Okay, you asked. Actually, I'm gonna call that one done. So it cracks me up. You have to laugh at some of this stuff because, you know, I'd rather be making art than wallowing. But when they come forward and say, oh, you could have something else. Of course I have something else. Why wouldn't I have something else? So there's that one. I'm just going to glue that right in. Oh, so whenever they ask me, how do I know? I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I gross them out on purpose. So, oh, there goes a turkey. So I can, so most people have their feet that go like this. I can take one at a time, 1 foot, and do that. Then take the other foot and completely do that with it. Of course, I can do that with my arms too, clearly. I don't know. Can everybody else do that? I don't know. But I can do that with my feet. And all the doctors, don't ever do that again. I'm like, why? I do it all the time. It's fine. It doesn't even hurt. I don't care. Don't do that again. Okay, well then stop asking me. So you do that, it shuts them up, and they don't bug you anymore. These two guys are cute. So that's what I do. You have to have fun at some of this stuff. One time I went to a doctor and she starts yelling. Oh my gosh, that's so disgusting. I'm like, you're a doctor. How is that disgusting when you are a doctor? And I know the stuff you had to do in medical school, but that's disgusting. And I told her that. So we're just going to leave these guys like this. Now, these. I want to do these this way. It's kind of like a craft along with me as I ramble on. A lot of those little flower bits in this one. So some of the tabs I want to be on the top of pages and some I want to be on the side, like this one. Sides of pages. It's gonna be a long video, I think. I'm almost done. Well, let's do this one. Normally I like to do 3 things, but I've just been doing 2s. We'll leave the 2s. Although, we'll do this one on this side. Oops. I know, I didn't put the brown edging on it. That's okay. Okay. I don't want to cover up too much of these because I like the paper underneath. Oh, it's such a nice day out here today. Beautiful to be out. Sitting out here with all the animals. I think I heard a deer earlier. I was trying to stalk the deer the other day, but I'm not stealthy because there's a lot of crinkle crunch sounds when you walk. And it just doesn't work to be stealthy. But that's okay. I've gotten a couple pictures. I'm still not super happy with my... I'm waiting for a spectacular picture. I'll get it. Yeah. Oh, go do that side. Yeah, I really need to fill this glue up. And then let's do these mushrooms. There. There. You know what? I really like these. Kind of the way they are. I almost hate to put stuff over that. All right. Maybe I'm going to leave those as is. And we'll just decorate the backs. I'll decorate the back of that one. Come on, glue. So I got some decent food yesterday at Costco's. I didn't get a ton. I mean, they have some things we can eat, but they don't have a lot that we can eat. But when they do have the stuff that we can eat, it's at decent prices. I probably go once a month, maybe twice a month. If it was a little closer to me, I'd probably go a little more. So maybe it's a good thing it's not. I did get some shirts for $4 a piece. Now, I have not tried them on yet. I will try them on today. I can't even get shirts at the Goodwill for $4 a piece. And these were pretty. They were sort of like a lacy overlay. It was a 2-layered thing. And I like my layered shirts. And $4. I have 3 different colors. I was like, well, that's a really good deal. So when you hit between the seasons is when they have different sales and bargains. And these were sort of hidden. They weren't like in the front of the display or anything. You had to like walk through the women's clothing area to find them. And I found them and I'm like, why is nobody else over here? But that's okay. I got what I wanted, needed, maybe didn't need. But $4, they were very, very limited on sizes. If they had had something a little bit bigger, I probably would have gotten something for my mom. But, you know, that's all they had. They don't have a ton of sizes. They're not like hugely size inclusive at Costco's. I'm going to call that one good. I think I've seen occasionally they'll have a 2X in the women's. But that's rare. They have halfway decent clothes. I do wear a lot of Costco clothes. And they joke. Once you get to a certain age, you start wearing Costco clothes. I don't care. I've gotten some decent pants for my son there. When you hit their prices right, they're good. Let's do this one. So I got those $4 shirts yesterday. $5 chicken. $6 chocolate. We'll see. I already started eating the chocolate and those graham crackers. The dog loves them. I really like this bug. And is this my last one? Yeah, I think I'm going to have this be my last one. One of those little teeny tiny labels. What's this one? It's not really what I wanted. That's too big. And this one's too big. Oh. That one's much too big. We'll do this one. That's what I want. There. Okay. Get some of this glue off my fingers. That'll take a while. But anyways, let me show you what we have. I'll decide what I'm going to do on that side later. When I go to put it in the book, I'll probably have a certain sticker or something that I'm using throughout the book that I want to keep continuity with or something. Got a lot of these hidden paper clips done. I do like the tag shaped ones. Cut that one into a tag. Let's do that. That'd be a good tag one. I need more tag ones. There, tag. Probably do that one as a tag too. It's almost like a little tea bag. But I'm calling it a tag. That one, I like that one. I love these papers. And they're sturdy too, especially when you have the glue to hold everything together. So, hey, we got a lot done today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this has been something that you're gonna go on and make. If you do, I'd love for you to tag me. Tag me with your tag Hidden Paperclips at Chrisanne1234 on Instagram and Blue Sky. Go give my pages a like there and subscribe to this page, please. I would love this here on YouTube, and give me a thumbs up. Also check out my website. There's a lot of free items there, as well as you can purchase some crystals, some decks, and check out some one-on-one private readings with me that I do anywhere in the world via online connectivity. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care. Be free.